In modern architecture, architects would rarely design with sustainability, ecology, and landscape in mind. Sustainability was not a part of the modern movement.
Friedrichstraße.
A conceptual design by Mies van der Rohe would have been designed with tall glass windows, which would have made the building lose a significant amount of heat. Another example is the Cross-Bronx Expressway by Robert Moses, which cuts through the landscape. Towards the 1970s, the emergence of sustainable design can be seen more in architectural works.
The concept of sustainability has been introduced to combine concern for the well-being of the planet with continued growth in human development. Though there is much debate as to what the word actually suggests, we can put forth the definition offered by the World Commission on Environment and Development, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. William McDonough and Michael Braungart developed the Hanover Principles, which is a set of statements about designing buildings and objects with the thought of their environmental impact, their effect on the sustainability of growth, and the overall impact on society in mind. The principles are: insist on the right of humanity and nature to coexist in a healthy, supportive, diverse, and sustainable condition. Recognize interdependence. Minds interact with and depend on nature. Respect relationships between spirit and matter. Accept responsibility for the consequences of design decisions upon human well-being, the viability of natural systems, and their right to coexist. Create safe objects of long-term value. Eliminate the concept of waste. Rely on natural energy flows. Understand the limitations of design. Seek constant improvement by the sharing of knowledge.
Ecology is defined as a branch of science concerned with the interrelationship of organisms and their environments. In the article Silent Spring, Rachel Carson writes about the danger of chemical pesticides, specifically DDT. She documented the detrimental effects of indiscriminate use of pesticides on the environment, particularly on birds. She quotes, "The most alarming of all man's assaults upon the environment is the contamination of air, the earth, rivers, and seas with dangerous and even lethal materials. This pollution is for the most part irrecoverable. The chain of evil it initiates not only in the world that must support life, but in living tissues is for the most part irreversible. This cautions man's power to modify the environment. We so often contaminate the air, earth, rivers, and seas. Understanding the ecological balance becomes highly influential. Carson's book inspired the grassroots environmentalism movement, which led to the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA. Man can hardly even recognize the devils of its own creation, said Albert Schweitzer, a French philosopher and medical missionary. We are forced to think about the unintended consequences of modern development.
In 1955, architect William McDonough and chemist Michael Braungart joined forces to create the firm MBDC. The purpose of this firm was to create products and systems that contribute to economic, social, and environmental prosperity. Cradle to Cradle was written in 2000 with thoughts of encouraging us to step back from the routine of daily problem solving and to rethink the conditions that shape our designs through means of an industrial revolution. Rather than seeking to minimize the harm we inflict, there should be a reframing of design as a beneficial, regenerative force, one that seeks to create ecological footprint to delight and not lament. It expands the definition of design quality to include positive effects on economic, ecological, and social health. McDonough and Braungart also rejects the idea that growth is detrimental to environmental health. After all, natural growth can be categorized as good. Instead, it promotes the idea that good design supports a rich human. To quote Cradle to Cradle, natural systems take from their environment, but they also give something back. The cherry tree drops its blossoms and leaves while it cycles water and makes oxygen. The ant community redistributes the nutrients throughout the soil. We can follow their clue to create a more inspiring engagement, a partnership. We can build factories whose products and byproducts nourish the ecosystem with biodegradable material and recycled technical materials instead of dumping, burning, or burying them.
The Frischkills landfill, located in Staten Island, New York, held waste from the World Trade Center and was home to tons of toxic materials from heavy metals. The plan, initiated in 2008, will revitalize this waste dump into a 2,200-acre park. It's 3 times larger than Central Park that will have kayaking and walking trails. The New York City Department of Parks and Recreation says the transformation of what was formerly the world's largest landfill into a productive and beautiful cultural destination will make the park a symbol of renewal and an expression of how our society can restore balance to its landscape. The Wellington Ore Project, based on a gold mine in French Gorge, Breckenridge, Colorado, planned to transform a huge area of polluted wasteland into sustainable land home to over 400 residential houses as well as a 3,200 square foot water treatment facility. This treatment facility has the ability to process 80 million gallons of water per year, which is equivalent to 120 Olympic-sized swimming pools. In this treatment, 4,000 pounds of metal will be removed from the water every month. This project helps to meet the concerns for addressing water quality while reforming wasted land into a site used for sustainability, both natural resource protection and public recreation. Golden Rice, the Shenyang Architectural University, located in Shenyang City, Liaoning Province, China, underwent a campus rearrangement in 2003 when they transformed their urban campus environment into a productive landscape. Landscape architects addressed the issues of overpopulation and limited tillable land in China. The concept was to use native plants and crops such as rice to keep the landscape productive while maintaining the university's learning environment. This project successfully raises awareness of land and farming amongst college students who will leave the land to become city dwellers. It also shows how an expensive and productive sustainable and agricultural landscape can be through careful design and management.
The notion of sustainability, ecology, and landscape in architecture are to be reimagined and to be expanded upon to be more than just about photovoltaics or eco-friendliness, towards the redefinition of the global system through building strategies. The Center of Architecture, Science and Ecology, CASE, is a research collaboration co-hosted by Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute and Skidmore, Owings and Merrill. CASE aims to implement changes to building practices in 3 priority areas: energy consumption, sustainable resource management, and quality of access to essential resources such as fresh air, clean water, and natural daylight. Natural daylight is an important facet in the consideration in the building of structures. Completed in 1958, the Surgen building by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and Philip Johnson signaled the appearance of the change in zoning regulations. The regulations prioritized the shift in the definition of floor area ratios, and thus office workers were concealed behind walls of cubicle-like working spaces, under ceilings that can be described as a sea of lights, which separated the architecture identity of the building. However, unknown at that time, the artificial conditions that were created under regulations created hazardous working conditions, which were coined with the term sick building syndrome, or SBS. This was caused by multiple factors, and one of the main causes was with the lack of sunlight the office workers were exposed to, which messed with biological circadian rhythms. One such application that has been devised by CASE is the Electroactive Dynamic Daylighting System, or the EDDS, and aims to remedy just this. It serves as a facade that works with the facilitation of light and information as a set of materials to transform buildings beyond its static conditions, making them more adaptive. By using a set of electronic polymers that are staggered on surfaces, EDDS responds to different patterns in climate, which allows for solar responsiveness through the tracking of sunlight and deals with the issues of screen glare, creating and combining performance through the well-being of individuals without sacrificing architectural aesthetics.